Okay, so let's look at a couple of other little things. Sarah inquired earlier if we could alternate our panels in places, and we can. Let's go ahead and see how we would do that. We have our louver, our rectangular one that we created, right? So we have this one in this family. So could we create another one to go in there? Let's see how we could create another one to go in there. Let's pause the video and talk for a second. Okay, what I want to do in this instance, you see I have this louver 25 by 4 glass. I'm going to what? I'm going to duplicate that one first, and I'm going to come in here and put vertical. Then I'm going to go back in here and change this one from glass back to cherry. Okay? All right, I can do that, right? And then I can go in and hover, tab, click, select one. I'm holding down control now, and I'm trying to select another, select another, select another, and so on, right down my line. And then I can unpin each one of them individually, or I can simply go up here to unpin. Now I can go in and create what? Vertical louver infill. But what is it going to turn to at first? It's going to turn to the angled one that is made of glass, right? Give it a second. I'm going to say delete grid line because I don't want to keep the horizontal ones. Now they're vertical. Now what I can do is go in here, hover, tab, click, and then I can say edit type, and then I can rename this one vertical louver infill glass. So I just renamed it. Then I can duplicate it, and I can go to vertical, and I can say this one's wood cherry, right? If that matters to you. And then instead of it being glass, I can go in here and do what? What is my last one called? It's just called vertical. So I go down and I find that one and hit OK. And now it's vertical, right? I can also go in here and say instead of 30 degrees, maybe I just want them to be at 5 degrees. I don't know. Right? We'll see them a little better. And now I can do what? I can hover, click, hold down control, click, click, and click. And then I can come over here, instead of being glass, I can say wood cherry. So it's about having different types. One thing that we probably didn't think much about is, wow, how are we going to get in this little facade wall here, right? So just like anything else, I can come in here between these two verticals, and I can what? I can click on that panel, I can unpin it, and I can still say make that what? An empty system panel. Then I can delete this down here, and now I have an entry. Or I could actually do what? If I have it loaded, if I go to insert and load family, let's see if we can put an actual glass door in there. So I'm going to come down here to what? What am I looking for? Curtain wall panel, or sorry, not curtain wall panel. We should go to doors. And under doors, I can do curtain wall single glass, right? It's loaded now, and I can hover, right? And I can tab, click, and come over here and see if I can find that door. And now there's a door in there. Another thing I can do that's pretty interesting, if I go to my south elevation, right, and I come over to this one here, and I'll get these out of the way. Sorry about that. Or at least I like to think I could get it out of the way. There we go. What if I go SD on here, right? And that one's glass for the most part. This one's wood, but what if I went in and said, let's click on there and edit the profile? You might not think about editing a profile here, but I could probably go in and do something maybe interesting like create a big opening right here, right? I don't know why you would do that, but you could, right? And maybe if I want to make a space where there's an actual window or an opening in my louver wall, right? See if I can get this right. There we go. And let's hit the check mark and see what we get there. So just like a regular wall, a curtain wall, okay. Up, hold on a second. I got to do this again. I got to go through the process. Sorry. And I have to just keep deleting the instances of the panels. And it may take a moment. Give me a sec. So the problem here is that I made this a little too big. So what I'm going to do is make this a little bit smaller. Maybe I'll make it half the size, and I'll move it down and just in between one of these. Same is true with this one, although, I really don't need a square, so I'll go ahead and just delete that one. All right. So I can put maybe a circular opening in there and click it, and it should give me an open profile. So there in that wall now, if I look in 3D, and now I've got an interesting opening. It created a profile, created an actual what? Space, and now I've got a hole in there, right? Now, can I tab and select it? No, because it's actually a part of that panel. But it did draw my what in there? It drew my black, my frame in there. But I would have to actually create another family to put in there if I wanted to put another piece of glass in there. So we'll go ahead and wrap that up today. Just an idea of what you could do for a facade if you wanted to, and using the curtain wall and kind of hacking the curtain wall to get what you want out of it. So now you know you can create things of wood. You create them of glass. If you wanted to do it a different color, red, blue, green, orange, whatever you wanted to do, you could do to kind of match your design idea. And that's the whole point of Revit, using it as a design tool and not just a documentation tool for plans, elevations, and sections. Okay?